Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a Thursday late afternoon, or as it is now, early evening episode of Ted's Booze Cellar with me, your most gracious host, Ted. Welcome to the premier alcohol review show here on YouTube. So I'm going to be starting research very shortly, either today, tomorrow, or over the weekend on the Carlsberg Special Brew video, so expect to see that coming out very soon. And yeah, once again, thank you to everyone who's been supporting me since I returned. I did see that I got quite a lot of views on the return video, the first one that I put out after my short break. And I wanted to say thank you to everyone. I really appreciate it. The views I got on that video really blew my mind. So again, thank you very much. But today we're going to be taking a look at a beer that was gifted to me by my dad and stepmom. And that is a very interesting looking beer here with a definite hint of the artistic about the can. And the beer we've got today here is called Steady Rolling Man by Deya. And it's a pale ale, it's 5.2%, and it's got one of those labels that's just kind of like slapped onto an industry grade can, but I will give it credence here. The colours mix together really nicely. It's got some pastel blue and some like light pink there with like more blood red writing, and then the art design in the centre of the front of the can here actually looks really nice. I like the mixture of colours, that sort of deep earthy green mixed with the red, pink and blue really stands out quite nicely. So the mixture of colours already is fantastic. You know, you've got nice orangey red, which is good natural contrast to dark green. You've got pastel blue against pastel pink, that's also nice. And it says on the can here, Steady Rolling Man, our pale ale, inspired by the ridiculously tasty hoppy beers we fell for. We got brewing our own versions over and over again while listening to the blues greats, the heady concoction of old-time blues records and juicy American hops transfixed us from the start, and the Steady Rolling Man was born in these sessions. Incredibly soft and delicate with intense tropical fruit hop, aromatics and saturation, this is our vision of the perfect pale ale. And yeah, they don't try to fancy it up too much, to be honest. That's really literally the entirety of the description they give on the website as well. I wish there was a bit more information about what is actually in this, but I will say it does contain barley, oats, wheat, so do be careful of those if you are allergic, but it doesn't really go into that much description about what's in the can outside of that. I can see it's got some really small text on the back, but it's pretty tiny. In fact, actually, that's the biggest weakness of the can, aside from it being an industry grade generic can that the label's put onto. The small text on the back of the can is almost ineligible. It's really hard to, you have to get super close, and even then the font and like the size of the font really actually makes your eyes strain a bit. So yeah, it's a bit. Yeah, I'll duck it at like a couple of points, but I think still the design of the can and the label more than well deserves. Yeah, actually, I'll be generous. I'll say an 8.5 out of 10. Anyway, let's have a quick snifter to see what our first impressions are like. Nice bit of fizz, not too much. Almost. A little bit of a papaya-y after smell there. It's basically a majority papaya nose. It's nice though, not much to it, but again, I do feel like once you've got beer in a can, it doesn't have as much room to breathe as when it's in a glass. So I will say, based on the can, I would say the nose is like a 6.5 out of 10. It's good, it's just there's not much of it, and there's not much really to discern about it. With that being said, I do have a bit of a blocked up nose at the moment, and I'm not feeling great, so that could have something to do with it. But ooh, I haven't pulled that one out too badly at all. Nice. Look at that. Haha, not bad at all. Anyway, let's put the can down here on the mini fridge just so you guys can see in the background, and yeah, let's have a quick sniff of it in the glass. Ooh, instantly nicer in the glass. Again, the majority of the nose is this kind of tarty papaya nose. It's good. It's just a little bit one note, and there's something about the after nose, the after smell, that's a bit strange. But overall, good nose. 7.5 out of 10 in the glass. So yeah, not bad at all. But as always, Imogen and Owen's favourite part of the video. Quick palate cleanser before you see what this sucker really tastes like. And then on to the most important part of the video, which is to see what this sucker tastes like. So, to everyone at home, I hope you have a great weekend ahead. And to anyone celebrating their birthday this weekend, have a great birthday. And bottoms up. Oh, that texture is fantastic. Woo! That is a lovely texture. Light, a little bit crisp. Still a little bit of a wet texture at the end, so it kind of rounds everything off nicely. Because I do think with a pale ale, you do kind of have to have a wet finish to kind of complement that little bit of bitterness quite nicely. So it's got that going for it. And then it's got a nice amount of fizz to it too, as well. It doesn't muddle up the flavour too much. And it just adds that little bit of sparkle to the flavour, which really helps the flavour. Actually, it kind of like breaks it up a little bit, but it also like holds it up a little bit as well. Really, really nice. And then the main majority of the flavour, it's like it's mainly like a papaya-y sort of like taste with a hoppy bitterness at the end. I think if I'd wager what the hops are, I'm getting a tiny bit of mosaic, but that could just be me. And that seems, it's probably not. I'm probably talking out of my rear end, but it feels like there's a tiny bit of citric, just a bit of it, but it's hard to pin down what the hops are, and I wish they went into more detail about that on the can, but the flavour is good. It's probably a little bit more note in terms of like the papaya nose being the main through line of the taste as well, but to be fair, I don't think you necessarily have to have loads of flavours in an IPA or a pale ale. Sometimes it is genuinely better and more right to go for a flavour that is just a bit more focusing on one thing and then just really nailing that down. For some types of beers, that actually does work a bit better. I do think it probably works best for things like lagers and pale ales in particular. So it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just that I wish there was just a little bit of like maybe tartness or sweetness to kind of offset that main through line of bitterness. But it's not a bad flavour though, absolutely not. My main gripe with the drink itself actually is that the texture, while great for the most part, is a little bit hard to take down towards the end. That's not really down to the flavour or the bitterness at the end, I feel. In fact, that part of it is actually fairly mild and is really nicely like seamed into the flavour a bit. But generally speaking, this is really, really nice stuff. So I would go out of my way to get this again. I've got to honestly say, thanks to my dad and my stepmom for getting this. This is a really, really nice beer. And yeah, I really, really enjoyed this. Yeah, very, very good stuff. Nice. Yeah, I think I'm going to go for the numerical rating of 8 out of 10. It's really, really good. It is really, really good. It's just that last bit of the texture at the end. It also kind of lacks a little bit of like extra sweetness or tartness to kind of offset the main bit of the flavour. But generally speaking, like not massive gripes. And I would say that this is genuinely a great beer. Like this is genuinely really, really nice. I'm thoroughly enjoying this, and I would go out of my way to get this again. So I'll keep an eye out for this. And if you're looking to get into pale ales for the first time, definitely give this a look, because despite it naturally being quite a bitter drink, it's not too bitter, and it's more that the bitterness kind of comes as part of the flavour. So yeah, genuinely really, really nice. Oh, that's really good. Yeah, I'll definitely be finishing that glass. But if you guys liked this video, leave a like, share and subscribe. If you have any suggestions for future episodes of Ted's Booze Cellar, let me know in the comments section down below. And if you want to check out anything else I do online, I'll leave the links to all that in the video description down below. But until next time, have fun, stay safe for whatever you're doing, don't do anything I wouldn't do, wash your hands, drink responsibly, know your limits, and I'll see you guys at the bar next time on Ted's Booze Cellar. Bye-bye for now.